Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Customs. Today I'm really excited to show this off, and it is a custom Thanos bust that basically producing. Gonna explain how this kind of evolved. Basically, if you guys know, Drew commissioned Gabe Perna a while back to sculpt this Ron Lim head. And this Ron Lim head was basically in Bowen design scale for the Bowen Designs full-size statue. And if you see my past video where I snap off the head, I put this head on and repaint him, it's kind of like a Ron Lim style Thanos statue. So, contacted Drew a while back. I was like, I have a couple people that are looking to get them extra heads because they want to do it to their Thanos, or about, they want me to do it. So he was like, I have a head, maybe if you could find someone to cast it up, cast it up. So I was looking around, seeing about casting up. I was trying to see maybe I could do it myself, but I didn't have all the equipment. So Jersey Fest last year, in 2012, I went there and I met a guy named Wayne Kim. He had a table there and he was showing off his big He-Man Man-at-Arms. I will do a video on that later on when I get it back. I'm painting that up for him. Really cool kit. Really looks good. If you're a He-Man fan, definitely something to contact him and see if you get one in your collection. So I asked Wayne, I said, look, I got this Thanos head and I'm looking to get it casted up. Are you willing to, make a casting in a couple molds, because I got to get some out for people that are looking for one and everything. He's like, yeah, I could do that, I could do that. So he did it. I got all the heads, so, I have those on my website and everything. And then I was talking to Drew and I was like, I did a custom bust a while back of the Thanos with this head and, made from the Bowen Designs Rhino. And I said, what if I made another one and we kind of made a kit out of it? Because a lot of people like the statue, they like busts. They're not a fan of statues. They want busts in their collection. So he's like, yeah, take the head, run with it, do what you want, and whenever you're done, get me a copy, and we go from there. So I'm like, okay, let's, let me see what I can do, come up with. So the idea was, let me contact Wayne and say, hey, Wayne, I'm ready to make a bust out of this. Would you be willing to cast it up when I'm done? And Wayne's like, I'm a sculptor, blah, blah, blah. Why don't I sculpt it? I'm like, oh, okay, because I really don't sculpt hands and stuff. I'm kind of like not quite there yet. I'm still learning as I go, doing what I do. So I said, okay, let me come up with an idea of design. And I said, I don't want to do the typical, hand in the air, holding a skull, holding a cosmic cube. I kind of want Thanos like, he's a badass. So I was looking online and came up with that, and I saw artwork, and I did some Photoshop work, and I told Wayne, I said, let's sculpt Thanos like this. Like he's coming at you with the Infinity Gauntlet, and just something different, something kind of unique. So this is what we came up with. So Wayne pretty much this is the original sculpt right here, and Wayne came up with the idea of sculpting all the hands and everything, and after he got that done, I got it, and I did all the armor and the gloves and all that stuff. So it was kind of cool being able to work with somebody that did the basic anatomy, and then I sculpted all the armor onto it, because time-wise he couldn't do it all and I couldn't do it all. So we kind of came up with this. So this is the Thanos head, goes onto here like this, and then each arm comes out around the bicep area the way he pinned it. So the cool thing about it is, if you like an armless Thanos, you can make an armless Thanos. But if you want it with the arms, you can make it with the arms. Now, we talked about the base and everything, and we were thinking of doing some really cool stuff with the base, but then I was like, a lot of bases out there sometimes are just generic, and sometimes bases take away from the statue. So I wanted him to kind of go up high, so he goes above everything. So basically, if you put him against somebody from, like, say any of the other companies. So right here I have just a damaged Captain Marvel bust, but you can kind of see he towers over the bust. I mean, he's really, towers over him. So he's definitely like a really huge Thanos. So he's not really small. This is a big sucker. He's heavy. So that's what we came up with. So that evolved, and we kind of worked it all out, and I'll do some close-ups near the end of the video. And everything. So basically he's done in, let's see, he's kind of like an armature with some, I think there's wax on here, as well as A's, and then a lot of my A's, and then some primer. So there is this is the original, so he's definitely really cool. So after that, Wayne pretty much casted him up. So I kind of learned how to do some casting with this project. It was really cool, really good experience. So Wayne made molds. Now here's just the mold of the base. So as you can see, this is a mold, and right now there's some in there, and as you can see, there's all a little junk up in here because I had extra Ave, so I filled this in, and then when I get some more resin, I can finish off this mold. So basically, Wayne let me borrow his pressure pot and compressor, and I was actually casting up a couple of these because, you know, I get one, Drew gets one, he gets one. So you can't just make one statue and then not have everybody get their copy. So basically learn how to do casting, which is great. I haven't really made molds yet, but now I know how to take a mold, pour in resin, put it into a pressure pot, and actually learn. So that's kind of a great learning experience, and, you know, so I learned how to do that. So basically came up with, you know, so when you make the mold, you come up with your resin pieces. So here's all the pieces, the Thanos. You got your body, your two arms. Yeah, two arms. Oops, I have the 3 arms here by accident. So you got your 2 arms, your head, and everything. So basically, you know, this is pretty much a casting. You know? So if you remember, if you guys come to Jersey Fest, you'll be able to see this up close and everything. So, you know, kind of like debuting it at Jersey Fest. So here's the original. The original you don't paint up, you keep it in case you ever have to make another mold or whatever and everything. So that's how this is how this evolved, and this is how we came up with this. So I kind of been working on paint ups now because everybody gets their own paint up and everything. So this is where I'm at now with the paint up. This one's going to be a metallic. So what I did is I decided to take the base and make it kind of like a granite type base. So this is pretty much where Thanos is at now. So you get an idea of how he evolves from the original sculpt, making a casting, fine-tuning it, and then start painting it up. So it's pretty cool. I have a lot of fun with this. I learned a lot, and just really happy to show it off that I'm actually like taking new steps into the hobby. So, you know, I do a lot of customizing, I do painting, so I'm kind of learning how to do the whole casting now. So it's kind of cool. You know, if I ever want to make a one-of-a-kind statue, or if I'm customizing a statue and I'm like, you know, this would kind of be cool if other people want it, I could be, like, if I'm making a sword for a specific character, I can cast up the sword, I can make a couple of copies, so this way if people want that statue customized again, they can send me the statue and I'll be able to make the sword easier instead of sculpting it from scratch every time. So that's kind of like, you know, the whole learning process and kind of what's evolving. So what I'll do is we're going to stop the video, we'll come in closer, show you a little bit of, like, you know, the beginning, the middle, and then closer to the end. And then if you guys are coming to Jersey Fest in September, I'll have these at the table so you can get an idea of what they look like and everything, you know, just to see how we evolved it and came about it. So really enjoyed it, really a lot of fun. So let's stop the video, show it up close so you guys can really see it, because I'm pretty sure by now you really want to see it up close. So let's do that. Alright guys, so here you go. We got the beginning sculpt, what we came up with, a casting of it, and then working on the final piece. So this gives you an idea of like how the character evolved, and it's a really great learning process. And you know, maybe if I do some more casting stuff down the line with other things, because I got some other projects lined up this year, you know, we can do some videos on that and explain a little bit more. But so as you can see, you know, resin piece here, some kind of PVC piping I came up with, rolled it around, and then we come up with this. So in your casting, basically you have to do all the cleanup, you know, the lines, the flashing and all that, and then you start working on your paint up. So this is the Thanos bust. This is what we came up with. I kind of like the idea he's kind of reaching out and grabbing you instead of you know, typical hand in the air. And you know, Wayne did a really great job on the anatomy, made him really nice and thick and muscular, you know. Came out pretty cool. So like I said, if you guys come down to Jersey Fest this year, stop by my table, you'll be able to see them up nice and close, and you know, just show them off. You know, just show people, you know, sculpting abilities, ideas, you know, kind of like a production type thing. Basically, you know, I do a lot of customizing, I do a lot of painting, so kind of turning into, like, you know, I can actually produce something where I can, like, I come up with the idea, I can work in Photoshop, I can do all my tweaks, and like I said, I got some other projects. So, you know, also come to the show and you can meet Wayne. He'll be at the table showing off his man-at-arms sculpt, and he'll have the original Thanos there so you can kind of see it as well. So thanks for watching, looking forward to seeing you guys at Jersey Fest, and leave some comments, tell me what you guys think about it. Like I said, just trying something different, you know. And if it wasn't for, you know, Gabe Perna's amazing head sculpt, we'd never be able to make it look as good as it is now. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.